Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Claudia. So today I'm going to be doing a video more on lifestyle. As I promised, I am going to be doing fashion. I'm still going to be doing fashion, but I'm also going to be including the lifestyle piece of my channel. So this is an area that I'm really excited to launch. So I hope that you guys enjoy my videos, but as I always tell you guys, please give me feedback and let me know what you're thinking. I love to hear from you guys, and I love all just the candidness from all of you. You guys are just amazing, and I appreciate all of the support and all the love. And those of you who are still following me after I announced that I was going to be doing more lifestyle videos as well, I really appreciate you guys for sticking around. So I hope that I can share some good stuff with you guys and add some value to your lives. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be focusing today more on the entrepreneur side. I'm not going to focus necessarily on why I became an entrepreneur, not in this video, but I am going to focus more on what I felt was necessary in order for me to succeed as an entrepreneur. I think there are a lot of things that I think are very important when you become an entrepreneur. So I do want to talk to you guys about that. So I'm just going to jump right in. I hope you guys have some tea or some coffee like me. This is one of my favorite glasses. I actually hand selected this cup in Italy, in Venice. This is a Murano glass cup. I know it's not really entrepreneur, but I just wanted to share that because I just love this cup. I just feel so good when I drink tea out of this. But anyway, I'm going to get back to my video. So what I want to talk to you guys today about is really about what I feel is super important when you're wanting to become an entrepreneur, or if you are an entrepreneur, what I feel helped me get to the place where I'm at. So I feel like there are two types of new entrepreneurs. So there's the one entrepreneur who maybe, is someone who does it on their own. They're not born into this lifestyle. They are really on their own. They, are trying to figure out where to get financing, what business to open, what accounts to have. Should I have an LLC, an S Corp, or what type of entity, and what their business should be. And then you have the other type of new entrepreneur where maybe they were born into this, right? Maybe it's someone who was born into this life where they had someone in the family who was an entrepreneur. Maybe they were taught how to be an entrepreneur. They had wealth and money and things like that. So I do feel like there are two types of entrepreneurs, even if they're new entrepreneurs. I really do believe that there are two types. One of the blessings, I would say, one of the blessings of my hardships was that I didn't have a whole lot. I was pretty much self-made. I had to figure things out on my own. And I think a lot of my hardships, I included in this first lifestyle video that I did last week, was that I came from not having anything. Here I was an 18-year-old teen pregnant mom who barely got into college. I had a hard time getting into college. I fought my way to get into college. I got divorced. I went through all these different things and challenges through my life to try to make my life be what it is. I was born and raised by immigrant parents who didn't really speak English. So a lot of the things that I learned as an entrepreneur, I had to learn these on my own. But I think it taught me a lot as well. One of the things that I feel is that being me and going through the hardships that I went through, it made me more resilient. It made me determined, but it made me work so hard to get what I wanted. And I felt like I wanted to take a chance. I felt like, what do I have to lose, right? And that was probably one of the biggest things I would say. If there are three things that I want to focus on today, is number one, that, I was able to take a calculated risk. I was able to just take a risk and just jump in the deep end and just go for it. I used to look at it like, well, I'm starting with nothing. And at the end of the day, if this flops and my business fails, well, I didn't start with a whole lot. So I'm okay with that, right? So I think that's one of the things, if you are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, or if you are an entrepreneur, you have to take risks and you have to jump in the deep end and you have to do things that a lot of people wouldn't. And you have to be okay with risks. And I think that's an area where a lot of people struggle. There's a reason why there's only 16% of the US population is an entrepreneur. It's hard. It's a lot of risk taking and there's a lot of uncertainty and nothing's ever straightforward. And I think that's the part where a lot of people think, oh, you must be so lucky to be an entrepreneur, own your own business. Well, there's good and bad. The bad part is if you can't make your payroll, guess who's paying for it, right? It's coming out of my pocket, right? So, I mean, there are some advantages, but there are also a lot of disadvantages too of being your own boss and being an entrepreneur. But like I said, one of the big things is taking risks and being okay with those risks and having that comfort of knowing that it could fail. And being okay with a possible failure, which I know a lot of people are not okay with. I know it takes time to grow into that, but so that's one thing. The other thing that really helped me when I was on this journey was that I surrounded myself with honest people. So people that could tell me the truth. So when I'm running these ideas, when I'm trying to figure out what I want to do and if it's going to work, that I was around people that can tell me the truth and they could tell me, Claudia, that's a horrible idea. Or Claudia, what are you thinking? Or why do you think that's a good, and somebody who could challenge me. So I was able to surround myself with like-minded individuals, people that were a lot like me, people that had the same type of goals, or people that were in the space that I wanted to get in, right? My husband and I knew that we wanted to get into a space that had meaning, right? So I started talking to people in healthcare because I knew healthcare is where I want to end up. So I started to talk to leaders and people that were in this space, and I started to run ideas by them. I'll never forget, there was a time where early on when my husband and I were first thinking about starting a business, we wanted to get in the mental health space. We spoke to a CEO of a hospital and we told her all these ideas. We told her, this is what we want to do. We're going to do it. And I remember this was a CEO who told us, I don't think that's a good idea at all. I think that's a horrible idea. I think you should partner with another hospital, let them take the risks, and you just like add to their program and add value to their program. And at the time, my husband and I were both like scratching our heads and we're like, you know, that's not really what I want to do. I don't want to add to somebody else's program. I want to create the program. So, you know, we surrounded ourselves by people that can be honest with us and just tell us, no, I think that's a horrible idea. And the other thing that was really helpful during this time, and it also ties into surrounding yourself with people that can help you and they could be honest with you and they could tell you the truth no matter if it hurts your feelings. You know, we partnered with the SBA, which is like the Small Business Association. There are chapters in most cities. So I searched the local chapter here in our city and I was able to find a small business association, and we met with them and we walked them through our program. We told them what we wanted to do. They gave us a good understanding of what it might take, you know, to accomplish this dream of ours. We were able to crunch numbers. And the cool thing about the SBA is that they sometimes have volunteers, people that are donating their time to help young entrepreneurs. You know, this is for small businesses, but I think that's a really good thing to do as well, is if you can work on a business plan and then look for your SBA, especially if it's a small business, talk to them and help them. You know, they will not help them, but they will help you and guide you through this. So that was really, really helpful to us. The other thing that I feel like was super important when we were on this journey of wanting to start our own business was we were really careful about finding a business that we felt a connection to. It had to be a passion of ours. I felt like, you know, you hear this all the time on social media. You hear from like these big leaders that you really have to be passionate about what you're offering, whether the goods or services. You have to believe in what you're selling or believe in what you're wanting to accomplish, and you have to have a connection to it. So one of the things that, you know, we decided to do is we wanted to get into the mental health space. I know a lot of people think, well, you're into like designer and like fashion and you're in mental health. Like, does that even match up? But you know what? I've always loved fashion since I was a kid, but this piece of mental health is so important to me. I have been affected personally by it. I've had loved ones who have been affected by mental health and addiction. And I know how troubling and how difficult and how painful it can be. So I knew that if I was going to become an entrepreneur, I wanted to do something that meant a lot to me, something that would make me feel rewarded. And I honestly, like, getting into this space has been one of the most rewarding things that I've ever done. I was a nurse for almost 20 years before I got into the mental health space. And I loved being a nurse and I loved helping people, but being able to help a different demographic or different population has just been very meaningful. So finding your passion and finding something that feels good, that you can connect to, and something that will aspire you and inspire you to want more, to do more and more. We always hear people say, if you find a job that you love, it's not really a job, right? It's not work if you really love what you do. And I feel like that's where I'm at. I love helping families. I love helping people. And I love seeing the transformation of people. You know, some of us need help sometimes. Some of us need compassion. And I just truly feel a connection to the mental health space. And I just love it. So I think my big advice to all of you, if you're someone who is looking to become an entrepreneur, you know, think about the things that I said. You have to be okay taking calculated risks, right? Taking a chance and being okay if it fails, right? If you're not okay taking a risk and you're not okay with something failing, then you may want to reconsider what you're trying to do, right? The second one is surround yourself with like-minded people, right? You want to be around people who can call you out, who can tell you how it is, who can give you their honest opinion without being afraid of hurting your feelings, right? And then the third one, of course, is making sure that whatever you do, that you find passion in it, that it's your passion, that you love it. I feel like if you love it, you'll do it more and you'll do better, and you'll constantly want to do more and more. And that's where I find myself is sometimes I have to pull myself back and say, okay, enough. You know, I could only help so many people without compromising my own mental health, right? But this is just one, video on some of those things that I wanted to share with you. I'm excited to be able to share so many other parts too, business and mental health and addiction and families and codependency and even health and wellness and fitness and just meditation. And recently I got into Wim Hof breathing, which has completely transformed my life, which I'm super excited to share my journey with that. But there are so many things that I'm really excited to share with you guys. So you can probably hear it in my voice. I'm just super, super pumped and excited. But I would love to hear some feedback from you guys. I am going to be doing more videos that are geared towards entrepreneurship and also, owning your own business and maybe talking to you about some of the struggles of being a business owner. I think a lot of people probably want to know that. So that'll be another video that I also do. But again, if there is anything that you guys want me to talk about, please let me know. I am pretty well versed in so many different areas that I really hope that, I can provide you with some answers and also some clarity. And if nothing else, dialogue. I put up my first video and I was very vulnerable and I wanted you guys to understand me and I wanted you to know the real me. And I am so appreciative of the openness and just the messages that I received were they melted my heart and it made it worth it for me to continue to be vulnerable and just share some of my secrets and just share who I am. My goal with the lifestyle piece is just to be real with you. I want to be real and I want you to know me. And I hope that we can continue the dialogue. I love hearing from you guys. So please leave me a comment. I hope if you're not a subscriber, you will subscribe to my channel. And as usual, I will see you next time.